Hello everyone, my name is Mark. Today, welcome to our class once again, our coding class. In our class today, we are going to learn about Python programming language. In our last class, we learned how to create a variable in Scratch programming language. But today, we want to learn how to create a variable in Python programming language. I would like to remind us of what we said is the meaning of variable. What is a variable? Variables are containers that store data values. And I did say that data values that are stored in variable comes in different types. And the three types that I've mentioned include numbers, strings, and Boolean. Now, I want to first of all look at the components of a variable in Python. A variable in Python is made up of different components. What you can see here is the variable syntax in Python. And I would like to explain the components of this variable and how you should be able to identify what each component is. The first component is the variable name. And in Python, variable names are case sensitive. Case sensitive in the sense that they respect the casing of your letters. For instance, name with all lower cases, name with the first letter in capital, and name all in capital are not the same. They are not recognized in Python to be the same variable. The second component of variable in Python is the assignment operator. The equal sign you can see does not represent equal symbol as we use it in mathematics. In Python, it represents an assignment operator. This we'll get to understand it better in our next class. The third component of variable in Python is the value or the data that you want to store. And in this case, our data is mark. And I'm going to explain further how to arrange your data if you want to store it in a variable. Now, I want to make a quick comparison between the variable we created in Scratch programming and creating a variable in Python. Like you have already seen, in Python, this is the variable syntax. And in Python, there is no name, there is no particular name that is used for declaring variable. You start by just putting your variable name, the assignment operator, and then followed by the data you want to store. In Scratch, what we did is similar to what we are going to do today in Python. In Scratch, we first created a variable, we gave it a name, and then went ahead to assign a value to our variable. Now, before we start writing our Python, on Windows computers, Pythons are not pre-installed. What I mean is, when you buy a computer that runs Windows operating system, Python is not installed, or Python does not come with the computer that runs on Windows. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to download Python in our computer system. And for us to do that, we're going to visit the official Python website, which is python.org. If you can't find python.org, you just open your browser and then you type Python. And now in Google, you're going to see the official Python website, which is the first link. You click on it. Now this will bring you to the Python official website. And here you can see the download buttons. You click on it. And then here it brings you to the download page of Python. If you are running Windows 10 or Windows 11, you can go straight to click on this Python, download Python 3.1 3.12.0 button. Once you click on this button, it is going to download the Python in your computer. And after downloading the Python in your computer, I would guide you on how to install it. But if you are running Windows 7, downloading this is not going to work. So in the description of this video, I'm going to include another link where you are going to download Python for Windows 7. Make sure you check the description of the video to get the link. Now, if you are running Windows 10 or 11 and you have clicked on this button to download, here I have some downloaded already. So the first thing you need to do is you click on the application that you have downloaded. Just click on this and it's going to open your download folder in a computer system. This is the download folder. And here you can see the Python that I've downloaded. I've already installed Python, so I'm not going to install it again, but I just want to show you an example of how you can install it. So once you can see this software downloaded, you double click on it and you give it time to load. All right, so this is the installation page or the installation window. Now, before you click install now, you make sure that you check this add python.exe to path. Click on it and then you click on install now. Now, whatever instruction that is given to you, you just keep on accepting until the end of installation. I'm not going to install it again because I have Python installed on my computer already. Now, I'm going to cancel this. Then, I'll go back to my browser. If you have followed the step-by-step guide as I've showed you to download and install Python on your computer, then the next thing is to verify if Python is properly installed and ready for use. And for us to do that, we are going to open our command prompt to verify if Python is installed and ready for us to start using it. So you press on your Windows button on the keyboard, or you click on the start button here and you type CMD. CMD is for command prompt. You click on it. Here I have my command prompt. And for me to verify if Python is installed, I need to type Python space dash dash version and I press enter. Okay, so here I have Python 3.10.4 running on my computer. So if you type Python space dash dash version and it brings out a version of Python, it means that you have successfully installed Python on your computer system. And then the second thing that we need is what is called code editor. Python is a programming language and there are special code editors called IDEs that is required for us to write our programming languages. In this case, we're going to make use of an IDE or text editor called Visual Studio Code. You open your browser, you go to Google, you search for VS Code, and then you press enter. And you can see Visual Studio Code, the official website. You click on it, and here you have the Visual Studio Code website. We need to download this software so that it will enable us to write our Python programs. And if you are running on Windows 10 or Windows 11, you just click on the download button and it's going to download just as I did when we were downloading Python. I have already downloaded VS Code here. And if you are running Windows 7, I want you to also check the description of this video because I'm going to include the download link for Windows 7. In case you are having any challenge in downloading and installing VS Code or Python, make sure you drop a comment on the class platform or on the YouTube channel, and I'm going to attend to your problem. So, if you have downloaded the VS Code, the next thing is to install it. So we follow the same process. I'll click on this folder icon and it will bring me to my download page, and here I have VS Code. I'm going to double click on it. Now I already have VS Code running, so it is going to tell me that VS Code is currently running. So but once you double click on this setup, it is going to bring up an installation page. Follow the step-by-step instructions until you end up installing it. I'm going to cancel this and I'm going to close this page. So once you are done installing VS Code, then we are good to start writing our Python programs. All right, so at this point, I have successfully installed Python and VS Code on my computer system, and we are ready to create a variable in Python programming language. Before we get started, we need to create a folder on our desktop. To create a folder on the desktop, you right click on your mouse pad. On the mouse pad, you have two buttons, one at the right and one at the left. You press the one at the right side. You right click and here you have new. You hover on the new and here you have a folder. You click on it. Now, what you are seeing is you write variable in Python. Once you finish typing, you press your enter key. Now, why did we create this folder? We created this folder because we need it to store our Python codes. We do not want our code to be scattered on a computer, so we want to make sure that all our codes are in a single file or in a single folder. So the next thing we need to do is to open the VS Code that we have installed. I'm going to click on the start button and I'll type VS Code, and you can see my Visual Studio Code. I'll click on it and it's going to load. Okay, here I have my VS Code opened. It is still loading, so let's give it a little more time. Okay, so I'm going to close this welcome page and I'm going to click on this icon here, and here you can see open a folder. The folder that I created, which is here, I want to open it in the VS Code. So I'm going to click on open a folder, and remember that we created a folder on our desktop. So when I want to do that again, I click on open a folder. I'll click on desktop here. So if your desktop is not at the top, you just check down here, you are going to see desktop. You click on it, and when you click on it, these are the folders you have on your desktop. So you start looking for variable in Python, which is the one that we created for this class. So I'm looking for variable in Python. Variable, okay, here I have variable in Python. I'll click on it and I'll click on select folder. Okay, give it a time. Now my folder is open in the VS Code. Now the next thing that we need to do is, if you see this welcome page again, you close it. Here is our folder, and you can see four icons. The first icon here is for files, the second is for folders, the third is to refresh the page, and the last is to collapse the page. I would like to stop this class here. In our next class, we are going to start writing our Python code properly. See you in the next class.